All right, welcome back to Life the Wild Ride. I got a few things in the mail. I'm not going to open all of it. Part of it has to do with the composting toilet, but what I'm really anxious about or interested in is we picked out a paint color, and I have it here with me, and we'll be using it to paint the inner panels of the doors. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up. And let's take a look at it and see what we got for a color. Alright, so I got this from, I actually ordered this online from Home Depot. And I can't remember the name of the color because we just went by looks, what we liked for a look of the color. But it is a very light blue is what we went with. So let's see, it's all nice and packaged up here. Crystal Blue Waters, that's the name of the color. Crystal Blue Waters. So our intent is that's going to be all of the cabinetry, but not the stiles and rails of the door. That will be just polyed. So you can probably see right there, that's the blue. It is very, very light. It's almost white, and that's kind of what we wanted. Stir this up and then pop it open. Maybe paint a little something. So let me just get things situated here, and we'll see what we got. So I got it open here, and I mixed it. I didn't really have to mix it much because it's brand new, and they just mixed this up for me. I'm just going to go ahead and paint these panels and see what it looks like when we're done. So I went ahead and painted these 5 panels here, as you can see. I do like the color. It's very, very, it's not white. It's a subtle blue. Almost don't even notice it. But I think in a bigger environment with other stuff around it, you will notice it. But I don't like the way it's going down. It's supposed to be one coat, which is fine. But it could be my paintbrush was too stiff because it's leaving a lot of brush marks. So I'm going to go ahead and let this completely dry, sand them smooth, and maybe put the next layer on, which I shouldn't have to do 2 layers, but put the next layer on with a foam brush and see if that'll help. Because I don't like this, the brush stroke look. It is a little cool down here. That could be a problem. I did try a heat gun to warm this one up and then redid it, and it still is not working. So like I said, we're going to let these go ahead and dry, sand them down, and put another coat on in a different way and see if that will help. So what we have to do next really is hand sand these down. I already did the rough work and get them nice and smooth, and we will put a poly or a clear coat on these to help bring out that grain. And again, when it's done, it'll be something like this. Hopefully you can kind of tell. I can't put it down there because it's wet. Let me try it on this one right there. I guess I can put it down. So it'd be kind of like that. We're making progress. So while those are painting, I thought I'd take an extra minute or two and see if I can sand these down even more. And I'm going to go ahead and give this Ryobi detail sander a try. It's got 150 grit paper on it. I'll put a link in the description if something you're interested in. It's good for doing in corners and different areas. Not really needed for what I've got here, but I thought I'd give it a try and see what I thought of it real quick and see how it works out. Ideally, I'd probably go to 220 grit sandpaper to finish this, but for these pads right now, all I have is the 150. So let's go ahead and see how this works. It certainly works good for getting in these tight areas here because you got a very small area to work with, and you can get that right in there nice and snug. So for that use, I would say it's great. It's certainly not designed for flat surfaces like this. There's much better sanders you can use for that. But if you need to get into a tight area, it definitely works pretty good. I think I got to sand it up pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and do up the rest of them so I can end up spraying these with a glossy clear coat when I'm done and before we put the inserts in. Alright, so you can see I put a quick clear coat on that, and it really brings out that grain of that tiger maple. So that's how we're going to end up doing all of these when we're done, and hopefully with that the light blue panel in the middle will look nice. I'm going to let this dry. It's probably going to need a couple coats so it can sink in and then still get that glossy finish when we're all done. But boy, that's pretty wood.
Alright, since my brother and I just had this really confusing conversation about who's recording and what, he's like whispering, he's like,
I thought he was recording.
no, I'm telling you what I'm doing.
I didn't realize he wasn't recording.
Yeah, so we're both actually in my dad's shop. Now, you can't see all of me right now, but this is going to be a piece that I'm going to attach to the bottom of one of my larger cat carriers that I will be using in case I need to evacuate the bus that I'm going to convert. I was going to make my own until I found this. It went to some tool setup. So all I need to do is to take these off, pull this off. I think just clean this, the rest of this, and I think these will go up through the bottom of the cat carrier.
So like I said earlier, I didn't like the finish when I painted these with that rough brush, so I went and sanded them all down, and I'm going to go ahead and repaint them again using a foam brush and see if that gives me a smoother finish. Plus I warmed the paint up this time too, so it's not so cold, so hopefully it'll flow a little better. So that's what we're going to do right now. What's interesting with this paint is when you first put it on, it really looks white, and we don't want white. I want it blue, but after it dries, you can see it's much more blue looking. So of course I'm putting this second coat down on these, and it looks white again, but you can definitely see the difference. And once it dries, we'll be able to see that it really is a very light blue, and I like the color. So I'm just going to get these painted up and let them dry. Okay, as far as the stiles and rails, I went back after I've already clear coated them and they looked really nice. There were some scratches, so I've gone back, I've sanded them with a palm sander here, and now I'm finishing up with some really fine finishing, like a cloth here, and then I'm going to go ahead and re-clear coat them. Alright, so repainted, resanded, actually resanded everything again, repainted it all again, resprayed all these polyed again. Now all we're going to do is wait for it to dry and see how it's going to turn out. I still got some concern about a couple of these that are not to my liking, so we may have to redo it again, but we're getting there. Well, these are really starting to come out nice. Slowly getting the upper cabinet doors for the kitchen put together here, one by one. And that's kind of what they're looking like right there.
I don't even know if I'm seeing the whole thing in my video. Yep.
This is what you call video in video. That's my brother. Check out his channel, Finding Mark in Maine. Also working on stuff for his skoolie build. Stay tuned for his channel. He starts putting up some of his build videos of his bus sometime in the future. Do you have an estimated time when those will start showing up on your channel?
Hopefully March at the latest.
All right, so Finding Mark in Maine. He has videos up now for a bunch of different stuff, but in March you should start seeing his bus conversion as well.